We start with what's here now, noticing physical sensations or mood or thoughts. Giving loving presence to what we're observing without needing to change it. Noticing if there are any particular qualities that are more expressed in us right now. A particular view, a particular stance. And if so, getting curious about this aspect of ourselves. There are so many different expressions that we are. So what's this one? Getting to know the one who's here now. And in order to do that, our perceptive capacity separates out from the experience of whoever it is that we're being in order to observe it from the outside and embrace it. So we are simultaneously two right now. In this process of self-attunement, we refine our listening. We become gentle and receptive listeners to the one who's here now. Our job is to take in, to learn, through observation on multiple levels. And the one who is here now gets to be seen. Presenced. Finding if there's any aspect of self that's a little contracted or a little constricted. Maybe there's a mood that's a little difficult or some thoughts that are tight. Maybe there's an area of the physical body experiencing some physical discomfort, uncomfortable sensation. We bring loving presence in the same way that we bring loving presence to a baby that doesn't stop crying, though we're already holding them, giving all the love that we have. We continue to give presence, knowing it's not about changing the situation, but being present with whatever is here. with love and gentleness. We allow the aspects of us that are constricted or hurt to receive the love, to be permeable, to be like a sponge taking in this light. So we are simultaneously the giver and the receiver. We may take a moment to switch back and forth between them multiple times, feeling which side we're called to, but maintaining both. Understanding that each sensation is an energetic configuration that carries a particular consciousness. Just like deciphering code, there's information in this particular shape, this particular pattern. So we honor each consciousness and we honor the fact that we often don't know what it is that we've come across. So we have humility in our encounter. And we listen through our perception. We're curious, receptive. Paying soft attention. This is how we learn our refined self-attunement. We're not invading, we're not pushing. We're also not absent. So what's the exact meeting place? It's neither too hot nor too cold. Where exactly is our attention located? Is it at that ideal meeting place? And we explore. And what we're working with in every moment is what you could call a moving target. It's an aliveness. There's nothing static or solid here. So as our perception opens, that which we perceive also opens and shifts and changes. So it's a dance. As we're observing self and experiencing self, stay connected with each other. that perfect place of connection and relationship. And when we have found this connection, this presence, safety, the doorway opens and energy flows. This is the dance. We are both the experiencer and the observer. It moves on its own through a greater intelligence outside of any mental choice or expectation. We're open to our own reconfiguring through our body's own natural intelligence. We allow our breath to follow and embody this dance. The breath is following the waves of energy. As they become one. We feel with our interoception. We allow our body to be loose. We allow whatever physical movement is a natural response and continuation of the waves that are revealing themselves. And we are the receiver. We, the experiencer, and we, the observer, are both receivers. Of this greater movement intelligence of ourselves. Unwinding, free flowing, and reconfiguring. With energy and sensation that we can feel, but oftentimes with information and consciousness that's beyond our conscious perception. We allow without needing to know. What is the natural movement of the physical body when it is neither held back nor told what to do by the mind? Physical movement as an extension of energetic wave. Energetic wave as a response to presence. To even a tiny point within ourselves being met with deep attention and freedom. No forcing anything at all. And no limiting anything at all. Truly being with, truly touching these locations within ourselves. Truly meeting, finding that exact meeting point. And surrendering to trust and expression and movement. That cannot be planned or expected. That arises moment by moment, fresh. That sometimes feels uncomfortable. As constriction deepens, tightens, while it's coming to know itself before releasing. What is sensation without needing to know? When we're made of shape and color, and density, texture and wave. When the lines are gone, when the shoulds are all gone from the mind. Neither forcing nor holding back. Instead, like watching the waves of the ocean, we feel the whole movement of the ocean within us. We allow ourselves to feel. We allow ourselves to feel. And we pay attention. Finally. We may be with a constriction that feels tight or thick or tense. And it is what it is. We presence it without needing to change it. But we don't run away from it either. What happens when we go even deeper inside? What's the quality of the attention that we come with to be allowed in? Are we gentle enough? Are we willing to feel sensorial discomfort to be with it? Who is the one doing the observing? Who's the one perceiving and meeting? Is it your greatest self? The one who holds the greatest compassion and trust and knowing? That field is immense, can handle anything, can embrace anything. Timeless, limitless. It is this vastness of ourselves that is present with the areas that feel so small. The small ones, usually at least, are not the ones that heal themselves or each other. They can, but their hands are small. Instead, we have these infinite hands that can touch and hold in any form they need to take to perfectly attune to and meet the ones that need connection and reintegration. It doesn't have to be hard. As we rest in who we have always been, everything can be just as it is. There is no need for change. And of course, change is the only inevitable. Why rush change when everything is already so inevitably temporary and lives but for a short moment? Even if short is a second or 1,000 years. This is how we hold, perceive, and follow and meet without agenda. Knowing that everything is in its place. Living out its wave of creation. And isn't it beautiful to be present for that moment? Whether the moment expresses as pleasure or pain. It's a unique energy configuration that will soon change. Will it change before we have ever noticed it? Ever learned who it is? Ever really paid attention? Seen all of its facets? Learned it from within and without? What is here now have I ever noticed? The infinity, moment by moment, expressing within ourselves, while usually we're focused outward, missing the whole thing. An entire life of richness we could live with our eyes closed, feeling the expressions as they come and go inside ourselves. And if we don't notice them, who will? This symphony of sensation. This constant improvisation. Never stops. Only because we stop paying attention doesn't mean it stops. Only because we are numb in certain places or to certain aspects of ourselves doesn't mean there's nothing there. We can love someone on the other side of a wall, even if it's made of concrete, even if it's not even a glass wall that we can see through. We can still love them, even if we don't know who they are. And the numbness itself, the wall itself, is also someone. At night, when it's dark and cloudy, and we can't see the stars in places, it's just black. We can know that the stars are there anyway. And we can know that the darkness is not nothing, it's a cloud. It's a being too. There are beings everywhere. And there isn't anywhere that's not a being of some sort, beingness. Like a rainbow within ourselves. Including the blind spots, also part of the rainbow. What beauty to know that there's more than what we can currently perceive. How we can rest in that multiplicity, in that infinitude. How we can surrender whatever aspect of us would have otherwise made a conclusion thinking we had all the variables. The relieving release. Nothing to change, nothing to do. everything here. No right or wrong way to witness, even, because there will always be more. No matter what, we're always witnessing, just a small window. How can we rest into our incapacity to embrace infinity? To conquer infinity somehow, to know everything somehow. And instead, rest into that which is greater. Loving our incapacity. For the inevitable release and surrender that it invites us into. The beauty of never being able to do it all.